After seeing the video, you're probably very confused as to what metaphysical poetry actually is. Well, you're all probably very familiar with different types of poetry. Usually, different types of poetry are grouped together because they have common characteristics like an X amount of lines or the same amount of syllables, like for example, haikus and limericks. But metaphysical poetry is different. And actually, poets that are considered to be metaphysical poets today hadn't even heard of each other, let alone read each other's work when they were alive. They didn't know the term metaphysical poetry. It was actually Samuel Johnson who first found similarities between these metaphysical poets and grouped them together in his book Lives of the Most Eminent English Poets, which was published in 1779. In his book, he talked about common characteristics the poets had in their writing. Metaphysical poetry is quite famous for using conceits. Conceits are basically extended or extreme metaphors, or innovative imagery. Like, for example, John Donne compared a flea to a baby, and Andrew Marvell compared a soul to a drop of dew. They use imagery in an intellectual way, and these complicated metaphors are known as conceits. The poems also contain complicated thoughts about subjects that are mainly related to metaphysics, which is a branch of philosophy that deals with abstract concepts, like, for example, being, knowing, identity, time, and space. These poets wrote a lot about love and religion, and they looked at these concepts in metaphysical ways. The word meta actually means after, so basically the word metaphysical means after the physical. Metaphysical poetry is basically about contemplating subjects that can't be explained by science. Examples of these questions can be the existence of God, which is why a lot of poets talked about religion, and even the difference between reality and what we perceive. But basically, what metaphysical poetry is known for is containing a lot of innovative phrases, conceits, and imagery. Some main things that the metaphysical poets like to focus on were making people consider the unimaginable and use puns and paradoxes.